she hasn't felt alive in a long time. This is beautiful and new, and she's wanted and connected, and so she also throws caution to the wind.
What are you so afraid of?
She's already been through the ringer. She's been through a divorce. People talked, and she doesn't want to go through that again, much less do it with a global sensation.
What about what people will say?
He's used to teenage girls screaming for him and swooning over him. He is looking for something that is mature and real. He knows what the risks are of being a global celebrity, and he literally sets it aside and says, I'm into this woman, we'll just make it work.
I don't care what they say.
Instead of thinking of how this could hurt her.
He's a Manic Pixie Dream Boy band member.
And it's hard when you've been betrayed or cheated on to not punish the next person for the mistakes of the person who came before.
Right.
They've got to find common ground and to be able to share in each other's worlds in ways that don't upset to everything else. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs all the therapy.
Today we're going to do movie couples therapy.
Ooh, which movie couple?
The Idea of You, the Amazon Prime hit,
okay.
starring Anne Hathaway in a May-December romance with an actor called
Nicholas Galitzin, I believe? Galitzin? I think it's Galitzin.
I've heard it both ways.
Anne Hathaway falls in love with a younger man, member of a boy band that her daughter's already grown out of.
That's too cool. Yeah, that was my favorite bit in this whole movie.
What we're going to be looking at is how his youthful optimism collides and clashes with her more seasoned cynicism. She's further along in life. She's had her heart broken a lot more. And how can they bring these two together? So first we have their meet awkward, where she confuses his personal trailer at Coachella for the VIP bathroom.
Never, ever go in the talent's trailer to pee. Never do that.
Do you want a drink? I mean, I've got all the
I have Mr. Pibbs.
sodas, the healthy ones, the not so healthy ones.
So she's divorced, trying to find herself in life again.
In case you never tried it, it's
He's
like kind of
cute.
a salad dressing. But we also have beer, we have wine, vodka.
I'm actually with my daughter for the August Moon meet and greet, and
Oh, she says it under her breath.
Your daughter, she's August Moon fan.
she was
Ouch.
very sad. I do think she will be a future nostalgic fan, but at this moment, today, you are so 7th grade.
Damn. Truth hurts, doesn't it?
My daughter's father bought the tickets.
I love this.
And
Not only is she, quote unquote, too old for him, her daughter's too old.
too old for him.
Now I'm here. I just
Or her father, not your husband.
well,
Oh, that's your take.
he was my husband, but now he's just her father.
The thing I loved about this movie is it goes really far in making this very unrealistic, sort of unbelievable story very realistic and believable with the dialogue and with the production of the film. Everything is handheld.
Yeah.
So it all feels kind of like a little bit of a documentary, like you're just kind of in there watching these people. But the dialogue is sparkling and charming and funny, but also a believable thing that a human could say.
You believe two charming people who are good at flirting could have this conversation.
Yes.
He's used to small teenage girls and pre-teenage girls screaming for him and swooning over him.
Yeah.
And she goes into his trailer and uses his bathroom and doesn't even know who he is.
Right.
And that's a draw for him because he's used to being seen as an image instead of as a person.
Right.
And the fact that she's got DGAF energy is, he thinks it's hot, which Alan can relate to because that's something that you are strangely into.
That's pretty much what attracted me to my wife.
So then he goes to the art gallery where she works and buys all of the art, which is a real Bruce Wayne move.
I'm buying this hotel.
Selene actually kind of nails it later on. It's sort of a boy move.
Yeah. But what it does is it gets her off of work for the rest of the day.
Sure does.
Because she has nothing left to sell.
Don't
You
your
know what?
artists need to make more art?
But he gets her to open up about herself, which is his real skill. Getting into debt is easy.
As easy as falling for a charming rock star.
But getting out of debt,
As difficult as making that relationship actually work.
well, the financial system is set up so that we don't get out of debt easily.
But PDS Debt might be able to help you with that.
They have customized options for anyone struggling with credit cards,
Personal loans,
collections.
or medical bills.
They're offering a free debt analysis.
Which only takes 30 seconds.
Head over to pdsdebt.com/cinema to get your free debt analysis today.
One time I got in really deep with the sharks, and by the sharks, I mean I had some student loans that went into collections because I made some stupid financial decisions, like becoming a filmmaker. Anyway, instead of sleeping with the fishes, I could have used PDS Debt.
And I could have used PDS Debt right after buying a house to help me balance my mortgage with all of my other bills.
PDS Debt provides a service to match you with financial solutions tailored to your personal financial situation.
They work to understand your specific scenario so that they can provide alternative solutions to becoming debt-free.
That way you can save more and pay off your debt in a fraction of the time.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies.
And there's no minimum credit score required.
Stop waiting and start saving. Get a free debt analysis right now at pdsdebt.com/cinema.
It only takes 30 seconds. That's pdsdebt.com/cinema.
Once again, pdsdebt.com/cinema.
I feel like I don't meet people like you very often. And most people think they already know me. Hayes Campbell. It's not me. I don't know. You didn't seem to care.
She didn't.
And for what it's worth, I think we met in a very interesting way. I think
You
it's
listened to her
smart.
pee.
And, you know, you're also you're hot or whatever.
Hot.
Or whatever. So I guess what I'm doing here is just trying to get to know you better.
Well,
And the fact that he doesn't pronounce his R's is really
I
attractive.
appreciate your honesty.
She says, I appreciate your honesty. And I love that with her, he has to do something different. He's a pop star. He can and has had a lot of women just using his fame or his looks or using his public persona as a shield just to have a good time.
Sure.
That's not going to fly with her. But it also is one of the reasons why he's drawn to her, because he has to be real. She's not going to be impressed by any of that.
Right.
So he has to show her who he really is. And this is one of the reasons why I bought this, because you have a woman who's 40 and divorced and a pop star who's 24, 16-year gap, and they've got a major difference in life experience. You know, he, for the past decade, has been a global star, and she has a much more grounded life. So how do we get them connected? We get them connected in that he is looking for something that is mature and real, and her life has been so heavy and hard that his youthful enthusiasm and his optimism are a big draw for her.
Yeah.
Because she needs that in her life. So it's not just they're attractive and the age gap doesn't matter. It's that the ways that they're opposite are like polar magnets bringing them together.
Yeah.
And that is beautiful for a falling in love story, but for staying in love, it's going to take a lot more work. But we'll get there in a second.
3 years ago, we were out at dinner with his work friends, and
This is just such
I
a
was
great bit of writing.
repeating some stupid gossip about someone we all knew who cheated on someone else, and the whole table went silent.
That feels so real. Like this happened to one of the writers or someone they know.
No, everybody was just talking about you. And I look at Daniel.
Everybody knew. But her.
He wouldn't look at me. So we got back to the house, paid the sitter, and I asked him. He said her name was Ava. She was a young lawyer at his firm.
Fantastic bit of vulnerability on the character's part. Then also Anne Hathaway does.
The most angry.
She's so good.
I was so nice about it. I offered to forget it. I said that for us, for our
The way she just kind of picks at her eye a little bit to get the tear out.
People make mistakes. I'll forget it.
Yeah.
I'll forgive it.
I don't know exactly what her process is, but I assume it's like most actors. She goes in, reads the scene, and does the scene work. She finds places to either harvest from her own memories or create memories for the character that she can be flashing back to and thinking about while she's delivering the line, so that she is feeling something in real time, because she's not playing an emotion, she's feeling an emotion. This is the thing that people get wrong about actors, is like, oh, you have to act an emotion. No, good actors feel the emotion and let you see it.
Yeah. So here's where they're not a couple yet, so I can't do couples therapy yet. But let's say Hayes Campbell comes into my office. He's like, I'm really into this woman. I want to date her, and I want it to have the best shot at success. I'm going to ask him to stop and make a plan. Because we're going to see in the clips coming up, he knows what the risks are of being a global celebrity. He knows all of the traps. He knows all of the stumbling blocks, the paparazzi, the rabid fans, the toxic online culture. And he literally sets it aside and says, I'm into this woman, we'll just make it work. And that's irresponsible.
And selfish, frankly.
And not in a he's a bad person type of way.
No.
I agree that it's selfish, but it comes from immaturity, not malice.
I would also probably fall in love with Anne Hathaway in his position.
She came to London because he invited her, and they slept together and had a wonderful weekend in the hotel.
I'm leaving.
Not just because of the sex, but the connection.
the European leg of my tour,
Don't worry, I'll be out of your hair before you know it.
and I was really hoping you'd come with me.
You know I can't do that.
Why not?
Izzy. I don't
She's
think
at camp all summer.
the gallery. I have to.
I literally
You know,
bought all of the
work.
art in your gallery. So, I mean, don't your artists need some more time to make some art?
I don't have any clothes.
I have an army of stylists, an
You
army.
understand? You don't understand. I did not bring enough underwear.
Well, we can go to Target. That's what you wear, right?
Again, it's witty but believable. Like, you can picture actually making that joke. So, love it.
When was the last time you took a real holiday?
And then she
What
laughs.
about what people will say?
What about what people will say?
You can be
I
responsible
don't
to do
care
it.
what they say.
Or not.
And worst comes to worst, we'll just say that you are my extremely attractive art consultant.
Because that's a thing pop stars have.
Everyone has secrets.
Everyone has their secrets. And this feels good. Here's where there's work for me to start doing.
Okay, giddy up.
She's got a whole list of reasons why this can't go any further.
Yeah.
You know, we're both drawn to each other, we're both attracted to each other. We had a consensual, lovely weekend, but that's all it was, and it'll be a great memory for both of us. And he's like, come with me. I can't because my daughter, she's at camp. Well, I have to work. I bought all of the art.
Yeah, he's got an explanation for all of her responsibilities, which are real.
Yes. But she's not expressing what's really going on until she finally does, which is what will people say?
Yes.
She's already been through the ringer. She's been through a divorce. People talked. There was gossip. People had opinions. People were hurtful. People were trying to be helpful and hurt by trying to help.
Yep.
Like, all these things happened. And she doesn't want to go through that ringer again, much less do it with a global sensation and under that type of microscope. And his response is, I don't care what people think, which, to his credit, is a beautiful sentiment.
Totally valid for him.
Yeah. Because he's
But
been-
she's got more responsibilities than he does.
He doesn't have a kid, at least that he knows about. He's been tabloid fodder before.
Yeah.
But it would be a new experience for her. And right now he is, because of immaturity, not malice, but he's selfishly saying, I want you to come with me, so just come. Instead of thinking of how this could hurt her.
And even though they're not keeping secrets from each other, he says everyone has their secrets.
Yeah.
And she has, famously, from her previous relationship,
Trust issues.
big time.
Yeah, it's not the surest of foundations, but she really wants to be with him because she hasn't felt alive in a long time. This is beautiful and new, and she's wanted and connected, and so she also throws caution to the wind. It's gonna blow up in their face.
He's a Manic Pixie Dream Boy band member.
So she's on tour as his art consultant, and everybody knows, at least all of his bandmates know, but it comes out that him dedicating a song to her at the concert was actually like his signature move to woo women. It wasn't
done
the
it
special.
before.
Yeah, it wasn't the special moment she thought it was, and she feels like she's just been played.
What are you so afraid of, Selene?
The father of my child lied to me for a year, and all of his friends knew. Everybody knew except for me, which is a gut punch similar to the one I just felt by the pool with your friends.
I'm not Daniel.
Tell that to my stomach.
You know, I know what it is that you're doing. You're bailing. You're running away.
No, I'm not running away.
You need to be accountable right now, dude. What are you doing?
Well, you're literally packing a bag.
Hayes, this doesn't have to be dramatic, okay? We both knew what this was. It's fine.
What if I want more?
What?
For the first time in I don't even know how long, I am actually happy. I mean, usually I feel numb or...
She didn't see that coming.
You know, I feel like I'm supposed to be feeling something when I'm not. But with you, laughing, just being with you, holding you at night, I mean...
So he's got 2 out of 3. Honest and vulnerable, but he needs
music,
accountable.
God, the music I'm writing now, I actually feel like I care about
He's
it.
also still
Why
being
on earth
kind
would I
of selfish.
want
He's
to
talking about me and what I like and what you
But
make
this is-
me feel.
Yeah.
Which is nice to hear, but ultimately,
This is what you say, oh, of course, Hayes, I feel some of this too.
I can't say that.
Yes, you
God, you know
can.
what the crazy thing is, though? I don't think you ever even gave us a chance.
That's fair.
I mean, does anyone in your life even know about me? Does your daughter? Do your friends? If the roles were reversed, do you think anyone else would give a shit or judge? I mean, did anyone with Daniel and Eva?
Izzy did. Tracy did. I did. I do.
So what? You're ashamed of me? Is that it?
I am ashamed.
But not of him, which is an important difference. But
yeah,
he's not-
he hears the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Not exactly what she said.
Okay, well, I'm going to go find somewhere else to sleep tonight, and I'll arrange a flight back to LA.
But she also heard what he was trying to make him think.
Yeah.
Even though she knows and we know, watching her, because Anne Hathaway, great actress, we know that she is feeling ashamed of herself, not him.
The fact is, he says, I'm not Daniel, which is true. And it's hard when you've been betrayed or cheated on to not punish the next person for the mistakes of the person who came before.
Right. Even, and I mean, in this case, to be fair, he made a very similar mistake to the one Daniel did.
Yes.
Not exactly the same, and that's where she's falling down. But it is similar, which is where he could take accountability
Yeah.
and be a little more sensitive.
He's sticking with, well, I didn't cheat on you and I didn't break your heart, but he did lie, and his friends all knew what she didn't. And I think he didn't even really see that. And, you know, look, he's 24. I don't know that I at 24 would have had the maturity
I almost certainly would not have.
to pause and pivot. And if you watch our Shelving Your Agenda video about Christoph, Shelving Your Agenda, if you haven't, go back and watch that video. But the notion is, here's what I feel, here's what I want to talk about, here's my position. Oh, you're hurting? I'm going to put my agenda, what I want to talk about, up here. It's going to come off later, but I'm going to be present right here, right now for you. And that is the move he needed, speaking of moves, right? That is the move he needed to do. He needed to put all of his defensiveness and defending his honor and put it up here, and he needed to be present and say, I didn't even realize that it was doing the same type of thing. And I can see how that's triggering a lot of pain and hurt for you.
Yep.
And now you just want to run. And you know what? I get it. I was wrong. And I'm sorry. But she wasn't going to hear it because right now she was too flooded. And she doesn't want to fight. That's what she says. It doesn't have to be dramatic. So she's total flight. She's out of there. Yeah. And he's only really considerate of her at the end when he says, I'll find a different place to sleep and get a flight out. If I had them in therapy, I would pause them. I would have him shelve his agenda and practice active listening with her.
Okay.
Repeat back what he's hearing to make sure that he's understanding it correctly. And then lead with perspective taking and accountability. Because what he gets to when he talks about, here's how being with you makes me feel alive. Here's the music I'm writing. Here's how happy I am. That's all great. But he hasn't made her feel safe yet. So he's rushing to share all this vulnerable stuff, and it's not landing because he first needed to take ownership so that she could feel like he sees it, he gets it, and he's going to change the behavior. But that's not where they landed, so they broke up until they get back together.
You okay?
It was horrible, but it seems to have died down.
Oh, because all the gossip
Yeah.
and the tabloids and everyone knew about her. And
What I'm not okay with is how I treated you. I'm sorry.
ooh, you guys know I love
When
that.
you said this is the part where I was supposed to say that I felt all those things too, I was afraid. I do very much feel all those things. With you, I feel everything. So, maybe you're right. Maybe it doesn't have to end.
I'm sorry, Selene. I wasn't expecting this.
Of course.
I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed right now with everything that's going on, you know?
I totally understand.
Need a moment. You know. All right, I've had a moment.
There is a beautiful intimacy to this film where you feel like a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Like you're being invited in to see these very private moments. And as you've pointed out, the dialogue, both the emotionally vulnerable dialogue and the fighting, petty, hurt dialogue and the witty
banter. Yeah.
all feels plausible and real.
Yes.
And not heightened. In therapy, this is where I'd say, guys, that was great work. This is
done.
exactly what needs to happen. And then I'd have the conversation of, let's talk about moving forward. What's going to be coming your way? What are the obstacles? What are the paparazzi going to do? What's the online community going to do? And what's your plan? Because you need a plan. Which, in fairness, that's exactly what they do. But what they're not prepared for is how it's going to affect her daughter.
Their daughter, with her gaggle of boy band friends, are all like, oh, this is going to be great. And they like dive in like teenagers do, not quite fully cognizant of all the crap that's going to come their way.
Once the tabloids start focusing on her daughter and saying you should be a better mother and not put your daughter through this, and then her daughter's appearing on tabloid magazine covers. See, that's, as a parent, that's the moment I related to, because she can give her consent to, as herself, like, okay, well, I'm dating him. I'm going to be in the crosshairs of, there's a great line in this movie about the internet hates happy women.
Oh, right. Did I not warn you? People hate happy women.
Right?
Yes.
And there's a whole other sub-commentary on this movie about online culture, especially as it targets women.
Yeah.
But she can give her consent and say, I know that's coming, and I still want this relationship. But as a parent, once someone goes after your kids,
Yeah.
it's a whole different game.
You know, a thing that people, I guess, kind of take issue with is it's sort of a May-December romance, right? Which, I mean, 40 is not December, people.
No, but we're much more used to older men, younger women.
When Daniel does it, it's gross, but if I were to do it, it would be fine.
Yeah, because I hate him and I love you.
But what I got out of this movie is not that the age difference was a huge problem. It was the circumstance difference is what caused the problems in their relationship.
It comes down to maturity and openness.
Okay.
And that's the story of the film. At the beginning, she's closed and he's immature.
Yes.
And where they end is she's open and he's grown in maturity.
Yeah.
And so the struggle is going to be, they've got to find common ground and to be able to share in each other's worlds in ways that don't upset everything else. Because she tries to share in his world, but all of his friends are far less mature than he is.
Yeah.
And she can't relate. And he tries to share in her world, but her world is grounded and normal and it's not going to handle the invasion of paparazzi when a girl is being taken to school in the morning.
Right.
Another big thing is the judgment. The judgment of an older woman with a younger man. The judgment of a single mother finding happiness. The judgment of jealousy when one person is very desired and somebody comes into their life and people who don't even know this celebrity feel like they have ownership of them or a say in their life and can fling all of these nasty things at them. That's a lot to handle. So she breaks it off, this time for some pretty legitimate reasons. And it's a beautiful breakup because they both still love each other.
Yeah.
But they just can't make it work.
Just promise me you'll revisit this in 5 years. Izzy will be out of school, living her best life. And I'll be some D-list celebrity that nobody gives a shit about.
It's too long. If you get a shot at happiness, you take it. And I will too, okay?
I love the beautiful bittersweetness of when he comes over and they both know it can't work, but they still spend one more night together just like out of just clinging to each other while they can. And then he does what he
Just
did
grieving
before.
because they have to let go.
Yeah.
And then he does his f***boy move.
He leaves his watch. And then if you've seen the film, we get a beautiful, wonderful little happy ending, which normally I would say is too Hollywood and not believable. And it's like this close.
It's this close to
Yeah.
being Bollywood.
Yeah. But it works for me. Why? Because they've done the work.
Yes.
Because 5 years from now, he's going to be traveling even further down the path of maturity and wisdom that she helped set him on.
Yes.
Because this relationship helped wake him up to he can't just think about himself.
Yep.
And sacrificing, being willing to let her go, even though he doesn't want to, because he wants her happiness more than what he wants, that's love. So 5 years from now, he's continued down this path. He's in an even better position to be a partner for her. And she, for her part, has come out of her dark place because he brought light and optimism and playful energy to her life. And 5 years later, she's further down that path. So they're in an even better place to meet in the middle and have a happy, healthy relationship. I want more of this type of mature, thoughtful, romantic film, these dramedies that feel realistic. And also, just like Ted Lasso, mind the drama
Yes.
out of people learning and growing together and having healthy, connective moments. So, well done.
I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I went into it, honestly, not expecting a whole lot, and I was blown away. This was great.
Yeah, it's lovely. Also, super horny. That's what you told me.
Very, very horny.
Cue the smash cut. So until next time,
We could go to Target and get some Fruit of the Loom.
I think you're really hot. Or whatever. And watch movies. Want to say thank you to our patrons who supported this episode and get a much longer ad-free director's cut of this and all of our episodes. Folks like
Alicia.
Magster3443.
Ralof_McSpuma.
What? Okay.
I don't know, it's a great name.
John H. Austin Jr.
And Nutella 64. It was a big upgrade from the Super Nutella.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, patrons. We love you, not just the idea of you.
Oh.
Would you want to get Thai food with me sometime?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much.